in organizations that are wrestling with digital transformation and agility and really trying to change how they deliver value to their customers and to their users. So I'm going to talk about this thing called the Agile Product Operating Model. Was that to some extent it isn't about Nexus or Safe, it's about the problem that we're trying to solve. The reason why we believe that they're complex isn't just because of the problem, it's because of the environment that those problems exist within. One is that ultimately this isn't a business or technology problem. Then it's very important that those two worlds seamlessly integrate. Is really the way in which organizations are built. They're built around their existing systems, we know, and the existing architectures and existing teams and existing power and authority and status. And those things are very, very hard to change. Modern organizations, particularly large organizations, don't like making decisions. They like to have lots of dispersed decision making, not empowered decision making. That's very different. So ultimately, avoidance of risk, building organizations around our existing power structures, systems, technology, skills, specialization, coupled with this lack of business and technology integration, leads to an environment that makes it very hard for Scrum to succeed outside of crises, outside of when everything is broken to fix something. That SpaceX approached this as a product mindset, and Boeing, very sensibly, because that's their history, approached it from a project mindset. And here's some of the challenges that we see because of that. So mindset, alignment, investment are really the things that differentiate a product versus project approach. Now, I would argue that we need to take modern product management approaches coupled with amazing agile approaches, combined with things like beyond budgeting and some other things, and bring that into a small chunk of value that I would describe as an agile product operating model that's appropriate for each product. I think it is the next evolution of agility. As opposed to funding work, you fund products, and then they allow the teams to decide what actually the work is necessary to deliver on the objectives. The operating model itself needs to comprise of something around people and organization. Because it's agile, that means we focus on supporting teams and self-management and empowerment. If the executives believed that the change was them as much as it was the people that worked for them. But ultimately, I think there needs to be a reason. If there's a reason for the change, if it can align, if the time frame of that change coupled with the objective of that leader can align, then ultimately you can drive that change. But they have to realize that the change isn't about telling other people to work in a certain way. Karl Marx that said, revolution only happens from the middle class, because the rich people, the upper class, well, they don't want change because they're rich and successful, and the people actually on the shop floor doing the work haven't got time to change because they're too busy working. So middle management is a key place to begin and drive the value there, and then hopefully create the mandate from there. But it is an incredibly hard problem to fix.